Hi everyone, I see that you are joining. I'm glad to see you here today. I hope you had great holidays. But now let's continue. Yes, let's continue our preparation. So today we have topic number 10 already, and today we're going to talk about collocations, and we'll also mention some writing tips. But before that, I suggest that we revise something that we have already learned with you. So let's look at these sentences and let's try to fill in the gap with one of the words that are suggested here. Заповнимо пропуски, виберемо правильний варіант. Звичайне завдання, яке у вас є в ЗНО. So let's look at number 1. My friend was tired after the 2 days of, and we have variants: journey, travel, tour or trip. Давайте згадаємо. Ми з вами давненько це вчили, but nevertheless, let's try to recollect. So, 2 days of, and give me your variants. Oh, I see the correct one. Great job. Travel. Да, подорожування. So, one more hint here. Одна така підказка вам. Бачите, що у нас journey, tour і trip, they are countable nouns. And in order to use them in this example, you need to have an article. But here we don't have an article, and we have only one uncountable noun, and that is travel. That's why travel is the only possible variant here. Very good. Let's go next to number 2. Let's the car before it rains. And we have a picture. So look at the picture, read the sentence, and give me the correct variant to the chat. Let's the car before it rains. So we have get off, get on, get into, or get out. So, which variant is correct here? So, and that is C, to get into. Да, сідати в машину, запам'ятаємо get into, виходити з машини, get out. Да? Get on, get off використовуємо для інших транспортів, наприклад, bus, train, туди, куди ви заходите, або на те, на чому ви їздите, наприклад, велосипед або мотоцикл. Yes? Okay, let's go next to number 3. How long it would take us to get there? And we have variants: incalculated, uncalculated, discalculated, or miscalculated. So let's try to recollect the topic about prefixes. Згадаємо префікси, які ми з вами вчили, and let's try to choose the correct variant here. How long it would take to get there. So what prefix do we use with the verb to calculate? And that is to miscalculate. So we miscalculated, да? Тобто порахували невірно, miscalculated. Great, let's go next. He planned his exit from corporate life. And we have variants: carelessly, careful, carefully, or carefully with one L. So, which variant is correct here? And that is carefully, double L. So remember, if we have an adjective careful, we have one L. But if we have an adverb carefully, we have a double L, like carefully, 2 letters L. Great, let's go next. Number 6. Someone who writes plays is a playwright, playwriter, scriptwriter, or scriptwrite. Different spellings, but let's try to recollect. Згадуємо. We learned with you. So playwright, playwriter, scriptwriter, or scriptwrite. So we have a hint: plays, someone who writes plays. So it's more likely that we have play, but playwright or playwriter. And that is a playwright. Yes? If we talk about scripts, we have scriptwriter. But if we talk about plays, that's playwright. Please mind the spelling. Бачите, тут таке написання дуже специфічне. Запам'ятовуємо, не робимо помилок. Let's go next. It was raining and we were through the wet windscreen at the cars ahead. Windscreen – це лобове скло, да, машини. So you have a picture, by the way, here. So what were they doing? They were gazing, looking, watching, or peering. So again, try to recollect: gazing, looking, watching, or peering. All these words are almost synonyms, but there is a slight difference between them. And the correct variant here is peering. Peering is when you look through something like very carefully because you have some obstacles, да, перешкоди. For example, rain or darkness. Тобто вдивлятися через темряву, через дощ, через сніг. Yes, so to peer. Peering through the wet windscreen. Let's go to number 8. It was so... I couldn't remember his name. So we have embarrassed, embarrassing, embarrass, embarrassment. So which one is correct? Embarrassed, embarrassing, embarrass, or embarrassment? So here we need an adjective. Нам потрібен тут прикметник. У нас тільки два прикметники тут є. Embarrassed and embarrassing. Let's recollect. Згадуємо. If we talk about a situation or a thing, we use ing ending. That's right, embarrassing. And we use embarrassed, the adjective with the ending ed, when we talk about feelings, about how someone feels. For example, I was embarrassed. But here we have it was so embarrassing. We talk about a situation. That's why we need embarrassing. Let's go to number 9. There is an excellent golf in Queenstown. Поле для гольфу. Яким словом ми це кажемо? Alley, course, ground or court? That was one of our recent topics, so let's try to recollect. Golf, alley, course, ground or court? And that is course. If we talk about golf, we say course, not court. We say court for tennis, for example, or for baseball, but for golf we use course. Це потрібно запам'ятати. Okay, let's go next. Let's revise some grammar. So let's look at task number 1, at sentence number 1. He has, since yesterday evening, he has 500 kilometers so far. So there are different variants. So we have drove and drove, is driving driven, C, been driving driven, and D, been driving and drove. So give me your variants to the chat, but please put number 1 and then your variant so that I see your answer. So we have present perfect here. Yes, for sure, because we have auxiliary verb has. Нам же тут зрозуміло, що це буде present perfect, бо в нас є допоміжне дієслово has. So we know two present perfect tenses, present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. We use continuous to emphasize the duration and we use perfect simple to emphasize the result. Подивіться, в якому реченні у нас є дія, продовження, а в якому є результат. And then you will see the correct answer. And that is right, that is C. І тепер бачу правильну відповідь, молодці. So he has been driven since yesterday evening. We have a duration. And he has driven 500 kilometers so far. Here we have a result, 500 kilometers. Great. Let's go next. Number 2. I have ice cream all my life. Again, we have an auxiliary verb that is used for present perfect, yes, tenses. But which one do we need here? Present perfect simple or present perfect continuous? I have ice cream all my life. Surely we need present perfect simple. Why? Because like is a state verb and we don't use state verbs in progressive or in continuous tenses. We use them only in simple tenses, the same as with present perfect simple. I have liked ice cream all my life. Навіть якщо вона говорить, що вона колись полюбила і досі його любить, да, все одно це тільки simple because like is a state verb. Let's go next. Why didn't she tell the truth? I think she to protect her son. Окей. По сенсу нам ніби потрібно, вона збрехала, щоб захистити свого сина. We know that the verb to lie, брехати, is a regular verb. Це правильне дієслово. That's why we just need to add ed, and the correct variant is A. А якщо lie, це як лежати, да? Це неправильне дієслово, і тоді, звичайно, вже не буде light, там буде lie, lay, lane. Okay. Let's go to number 4. Did you be afraid of darkness when you were a child? Number 4. Did you be afraid of darkness when you were a child? When you were a child, that is something about the past, yes, the previous habits or the previous states. And we remember that we use construction to be used to, да? Раніше. So, if we use auxiliary verb did, then we need to use да? Тобто ed закінчення ми забираємо для питань та negative sentences. So, and then we have did you used to be afraid of darkness? Чи раніше, чи колись ти боялася, коли була дитиною? Okay, I see a lot of correct answers. I think that we can go next. Number 5. The office after that all the doors were locked. Let's recollect past tenses here. Згадаємо минулі часи. So, the office after that all the doors were locked. So we have 2 actions in the past, and one action happened before or after another one. Да? Тобто одна дія була спочатку, а потім була інша дія. Подивіться, яка дія відбулася спочатку, яка відбулася згодом. Пам'ятаємо, що та дія, яка відбулася першою, ми використовуємо past perfect. Та дія, яка відбулася потім, це звичайний past simple. And I see the correct answers. Yes, I left the office. Past simple, after I had checked that all the doors were locked, that's past perfect. Тому що спочатку він перевірив, а потім він пішов з офісу. Very good. Let's go to number 6. And treatment is more expensive than prevention. Okay. Набагато дорожче. So how would you say набагато дорожче? Oh, usually in your tests, зазвичай в ЗНО дуже частенько такі трапляються питання. So, which one is correct? Much more expensive than prevention. So, remember that we can use much for comparative decrease of adjectives. Да? Тобто much використовуємо з порівняльними прикметниками. At the same time, we use pretty, very, fairly only with the positive degree of adjectives. А всі інші три pretty, very, fairly тільки з початковою формою прикметника. Наприклад, expensive. Pretty expensive, very expensive, fairly expensive. Great, let's go to number 7. Do you think the weather fine tomorrow? I hope it sunny. Future tense is our last topic, and I hope you remember that when you talk about intentions based on your own opinion, you use only future simple. Yes, will be fine, will be sunny. If you make intentions, yes, передбачення робите, базуєтесь на власній думці, то це тільки future simple. Okay, but number 8. А номер 8 навпаки тут у нас є. Look at the traffic. We late for school. Here we have some evidence. Тут у нас вже є докази. Якщо в нас є докази, що щось трапиться, we need to use to be going to. We are going to be late for school. Great. I see a lot of correct answers. So guys, I hope you don't have any questions here and you revised a bit, so we can go to our today's topic about collocations. So let's look at the picture and answer the question. What is she doing? What is she doing? A simple question. Give me your answers to the chat. What is she doing? She's doing something with her bed. So what is she doing? Вона заправляє, застеляє ліжко, да? На картинці так видно. So how would you say it? She's making her bed, or she's making the bed. Great. And here we have the first collocation. І тут у нас вже є перший collocation, да? Слово сполучення. Make a bed. So collocations are just combinations of words that usually appear together. Тобто це просто словосполучення, які часто зустрічаються в англійській мові. Тобто, наприклад, на цьому прикладі застеляти ліжко – це буде make the bed. Тобто слово bed – ліжко, воно поєднується з дієсловом make, ні з яким іншим. Yes? So, she is making her bed. Це найчастіше вживане словосполучення в англійській мові, тому ми так і кажемо. So, a native speaker would say, she is making a bed. Да? Okay, so let's look at some more common collocations and let's try to complete them. So, let's look at number 1. To a secret. So, how would you say зберегти таємницю, зберегти секрет чийсь? How would you say it in English? You would say to keep a secret. Yes, you would not say anything else, but you would say to keep a secret. Great, I see correct answers. Let's go next. Дуже часта помилка. Сфотографувати щось, зробити фотографію чогось. Which verb collocates with the word a photo? I see the correct answer. Great. To take a photo. Not to make a photo, not to do a photo, but to take a photo. Let's go next. To a cold. Застудитися. How would you say it? So which verb collocates with the word a cold? Catch a cold. Great. We have this number 4, to make a bed. Number 5, to do the laundry. Прати щось, попрати, зайнятися пранням. So how would you say it? Would you say go, make, or what else? Okay, I don't see the correct answer. Yeah, I see it. To do the laundry. Very good. Okay. To into trouble. Потрапити в біду. We have into, і це має вже вам трошки підказати, to get into trouble. Потрапити в біду, в нещастя якесь. Окей, зверни увагу. So I hope you know how to say it. Usually your teachers say, okay, come on, you should pay attention. Да? Взагалі слово pay – це ніби платити, але if it's used with the word attention, then it is to pay attention. Great. І не дотриматись обіцянки. To a promise. I don't see the correct answer, so how would you say it? Не дотриматись обіцянки. Тобто порушити обіцянку. Sorry. Number 8. To break a promise. Yes, we know that break – це ламати нібито щось. Yes? Yeah, I see the correct. To break a promise. Great. So let's look at these collocations one more time. Давайте ще раз на них подивимося. So what parts of speech are these? This is a verb, to break, and a promise, that is a noun. And together they make a collocation. І разом вони складають словосполучення. So I suggest that we look at more verbs and at more collocations with these everyday words. Давайте подивимося ще на декілька цих дієслів, які вживаються кожного дня, але де ми часто робимо помилки. So let's try to sort out these words with these 4 verbs. Do, take, make, and have. They might be very tricky. Okay, so the shopping. So where would the shopping go? We usually do the shopping. Actually, all housework like the shopping, the ironing, the washing, the laundry, whatever, we all use these words with the verb to do. Тобто ми все це робимо. To do. Okay, a mistake. That is a common mistake among students. So, зробити помилку. So, which verb do we need to use? To make a mistake. Not to do a mistake, but to make a mistake. Great. A rest. That's very simple. To take a rest or to have a rest. The same, fun. To have fun. Okay, a mess. Насмітити. Don't, a mess. How would you say it? Don't make a mess. Do не можна тут. Don't make a mess. Lunch. We have lunch. It's easy. A break. The same as a rest. Take a break, зробити перерву, and have a break. Have a seat and take a seat. Вони всі можуть вживатися із зі словом take, і зі словом have. Your homework. Also easy. Do your homework. Not make. Not make, but we do homework. We have your best. Зроби якнайкраще. How would you say it? Do your best. Тобто постарайся. Do your best. Окей, шуміти. Тобто робити галас якийсь. Do a noise or make a noise. What do you think? What verbs collocate? Make a noise or do a noise? I see make, to. So we make a noise. And sympathy – це співчувати. So how would you say співчувати? Я співчуваю тобі. I have sympathy. To have, not to do. Да? Буває таке, що робить помилку, кажуть to do. No, to have sympathy. Great. So let's look at this short text and let's find 6 mistakes here. So they are all mistakes in collocations. Тут текст непогано написаний, але в ньому є 6 помилок з неправильними словосполученнями. So let's read and find them. In the morning, I made some work in the garden. So in the morning, I made some work in the garden. Where is the mistake here? So the message is clear. Нам дуже просто це все зрозуміти, але тут є помилка. Тобто зрозуміти можна. But here is a mistake. In the morning, I did some work, to do some work. Great. Then I spent a rest for about an hour. Can we say spent a rest? No, we cannot. We should say I had a rest or I took a rest. We cannot spend a rest. Great. Let's go next. Before going out to have some shopping in town. So what do we do with the shopping? What do we do with the shopping? We do some shopping. Да? Пам'ятаємо, що ось ці всі такі домашні роботи, shopping, ironing, laundry, будь-що, washing, we do them. Ми їх робимо. Do some shopping. Great. It was my sister's birthday and I wanted to do a special effort. Тобто він хотів докласти якихось зусиль. To do a special effort. По значенню нам все зрозуміло, but where is the mistake? Do a special effort. Which verb do we use with the word effort? Which verb? We use make. To make an effort. Докласти зусилля. Докласти зусиль. I see the correct answers. Very good. Great. To cook a nice meal for her. I gave a look at a new Thai cookery book. I gave a look at a new Thai cookery book. Again, the meaning is clear. Тобто він подивився. Тут все понятно, все зрозуміло взагалі по сенсу речення. But where is the mistake? I gave a look or I have a look or I had a look or I took a look. Да? Тобто я подивився, we use only have or take a look. Nothing else. And the last mistake. It was some easy recipes and I managed to do a good impression. Справити враження. So, справити враження. To do a good impression or what do we do with impression? We make an impression, да? Дуже часто робимо помилку, запам'ятаємо. To make an impression. Okay, so let's recollect these collocations and now let's go next. Давайте я вам ще більше їх дам. So, here are the most commonly used. Я підібрала для вас такі найвживаніші. So, but let's do it like this. Look through the column, yes, and say me which verb collocates with all of these words. For example, column number 1. So, with what verb do all these words can collocate? Отак, щоб всі ці слова могли вживатись з одним якимсь дієсловом. So, we look at number 1, column number 1. What verb collocates with them? Make. Let me pay your attention to make a decision. Прийняти рішення. Make a decision. Да? Що в нас тут ще цікавого є? Make friends. Ми не зустрічаємо друзів, да? Там не знайомимось. Make friends – це значить здружитися з кимось. Тобто ви когось зустріли і ви з ним здружилися. Make friends. And make a mistake. І make mistake також запам'ятовуємо. Okay, let's go to column number 2. Your best, damage, the ironing, shopping. І тут вже дуже просто do. Here, please pay attention to such collocation as do someone a favor. Да? Do someone a favor. So what does it mean? Can you please do me a favor? Ти можеш мені зробити послугу, тобто можеш мені допомогти. So, not make, but do. Запам'ятаємо, що тут do. Okay, number 3. So which verb all these words can collocate with? They all can collocate with the verb to have. Okay, pay attention to the collocations like to have a try. To have a try – це спробувати, зробити спробу. Тобто українською ми кажемо зробити спробу. Да? Було б логічно сказати do a try, but not. We need to say to have a try. Number 4, easy words. A holiday, a trip, a train, a bus, we take. And also pay attention to the collocation like take advantage of. Да? Дуже часто зустрічається це скористатися з чимось, да? Взяти якусь вигоду від чогось, від ситуації або від когось. So let's practice a little bit and let's try to fill in the gaps with one verb. Okay, so let's look at number 1. Michael is really, okay, an effort. What verb collocates with the word an effort? Making. Great. Let's go next. Advantage of being in London. Таке гарне речення, да? Скористайся тим, що ти в Лондоні. So, advantage of being in London. We take advantage of being in London. Great. Amelia had to, a choice between her career and her family. Зробити вибір. Українською ми кажемо зробити, but in English it's to make. Make a choice, not to do a choice. Okay, number 4. Yesterday we a trip to the mountains. Звичайно, ви можете сказати we traveled to the mountains or we went to the mountains, да? Але чим більше ви таких колокацій використовуєте, тим гарніше буде ваш райтинг, да? Тим більше ваш шансів отримати гарний бал за лексику, да, в вашому райтингу. So, yesterday we took a trip to the mountains. Number 5. I'll the washing. Ага, ми вже знаємо, що всі ось ці домашні роботи we do the washing. Great. Number 6. The storm, some damage to our roof. We have words like damage and harm. Да, робити шкоду. And they all are used with the verb to do. Did. The storm did some damage to our roof. Number 7. I'll explain what to do. Then you can a try or a go. І тоді ти можеш спробувати. Of course, you can say, and then you can try. Можна сказати просто, and then try. But it would be better if you can say, and then you have a try, or you have a go. And number 8, no point in staying somewhere where the boss has a dislike to you. Так само, можна ж просто сказати, where the boss dislikes you. Да? Але зробити це гарніше, красивіше, використавши правильне словосполучення. So, which verb can we use here? I see actually the correct answer. Has taken a dislike to you. Тобто йому не подобаєшся ти, босу. Great. Let's look at these 3 sentences and let's try the wrong one. So which sentence is wrong? 2 of these 3 are correct and 1 is wrong. And we will talk one. Why? This one is correct. I have to sit an exam in biology. And this one is correct. Jane passed the entrance exam. But this one is incorrect. We have to pass the exams at the end of each year. We cannot say pass because pass means presupposes some result. Да? Тобто, якщо ви кажете pass, тобто це ви вже здали, і це вже у вас є якийсь результат. Да? А так як вони просто мають здавати іспити в кінці кожного року, here we need to use either do, take or sit an exam. You may say that with an exam we can have a lot of verbs that collocate with it, yes? So let's try to look at other verbs that collocate with other very commonly used words. Подивимось на ще часто вживаємо такі словосполучення. And let's try to match, yes? We have 14 verbs, we have 14 words, so let's try to collocate them. For example, number 1, the page and the handle. So what do you think? Which verb collocates with these 2 nouns? Okay, what can we do with the page and the handle? Catch, do, have, keep, leave, set, tell. Okay, how would you say перегорнути сторінку? Yes, we turn the page and turn the handle. Ми кажемо відкривати ручку двері, but in English we say to turn the handle. Okay, let's go to number two, sorry. Number two is very easy. We have already discussed it. To catch a bus, to catch a cold. Number three, a meeting and my hand. Вам тут hand може підказати, да? Тримати за руку, hold my hand. Але в той же час слово hold, воно поєднується зі словом meeting, проводити збори, да? Тобто проводити збори – це всього-навсього hold a meeting, да? Ніби тримати збори. But it's like the collocation. Okay, let's go next. Number four. Your homework and the ironing. That's very simple. Нам ironing тут підказує. Да? Do the ironing and do your homework. Number five. Your time and her temperature. So, виміряти температуру. Okay, that is take. Take your time and take her temperature. Okay, number six. Lies and a story. Lies – це як брехня. What do you do with lies? You tell lies and you tell a story. Number seven. A message, a space. Я залишу для тебе повідомлення. Leave. Leave a message and leave a space. Залишати місце. Okay, let's go to number eight. A light bulb and trains. We actually learned with you about trains. Ми з вами насправді вчили. So, пересідати з поїзда на поїзд, that means to change. І так само можете лампочку поміняти. To change a light bulb, to change trains. Number nine. Advise an interview. So try to remember it. To give advice. Да? Давати пораду. Give advice. Okay. A secret, a diary. Да? Вести щоденник. Very good collocation. To keep. To keep a secret. To give a diary. Okay. Number 11. Приймати душ. Я сподіваюся, всі пам'ятаємо. To have a shower or to take a shower. Okay, number 12. Some homework and the alarm. How would you say ставити будильник? Yes? Ви там пишете лист другу і кажете, я зазвичай роблю свою роботу, там домашню роботу, мені задають домашню роботу, і я там ставлю будильник на 7 ранку, але прокидаюсь пізніше. So how would you say ставити будильник? To set the alarm. Okay. Progress and noise. We know that it is make. And number 14, a quiet life. And the world in. Lead. Да? A very good collocation. Lead the world in something. Тобто це бути найкращим в світі з чогось. Usually we use this collocation to talk about countries. For example, Great Britain leads the world in, I don't know, in tourism, for example. Yes? Тобто вона найкраща в світі серед, там, в туризмі або там, в чомусь іншому. So lead the world in something. Very good collocation. Try to remember it and use it. Okay. But here we have the verb that is the mostly used. Do. Yes? Таке слово, яке вже всі використовують, воно дуже часто вживається. Do. So what can we do? What can collocate with do? We can do an exam, do research, do a course, do a degree, do a subject, do an assignment, do a lecture. But if we look at all these collocations and if we look up in a dictionary, we would see that do a lecture is informal. And we can only use it in informal letters. Yes? But to make it more formal, we would say to deliver a lecture or at least to give a lecture. So why do you need to memorize other collocations that just using do? In order to write formal letters. Да? Тобто навіщо вам потрібно знати ці колокації з do, щоб написати краще офіційний лист? Because surely you can say do an exam if you are writing to your friend. But if you want to write an official letter, yes, you you'd better use some other collocations. То краще використовувати більш формальні колокації, тобто словосполучення. For example, да, у нас тут такі словосполучення, які нам підходять під тему, for example, writing letter of application, да, лист заяву. Да, тобто ви пишете про свої там досягнення, хочете там кудись вступити. Давайте спробуємо ці словосполучення переробити в більш формальний стиль, да, офіційний більше стиль. For example, do an exam. We can say to take or to sit an exam. Better than to do an exam. Знову ж пишемо другу, кажемо просто do an exam. Пишемо офіційний вже лист, краще сказати take an exam. Да, це буде більш така formal language. Do research. But if you say it in a more formal way, you would say conduct a research project. Да? То краще запам'ятайте таке словосполучення, як conduct або carry out. Да? Це набагато краще для офіційного листа. Do a course. In more formal, it's better to say to take a course or enroll on a course. Do a degree. Отримати ступінь or a diploma. It's better to say studied for or took. They are more formal. Do a subject, it's better to say study or took. Бачите, вони однакові. Але study more formal than just do. Okay, let's go next. Do an essay, it's better to say to write an essay. And number one, do a lecture, it's better to say to give a lecture. Okay, and the same we have with the verb get. Це взагалі слово, яке вживається постійно і навіть зайвий раз. The same. Get is rather informal. Запам'ятайте, що воно таке дуже неофіційне. It's better to use other collocations with these words than get if you write an official letter. So, let's look. Get a degree. What synonym can we use with a degree to make a more formal collocation? It's better to say to obtain or to be awarded with a diploma or a degree. Obtain a degree. Very good collocation for an official letter. Чудове словосполучення для офіційного листа. Try to remember it. Get a grade. It's better to say to receive than to get, of course, or to be given. Get a qualification. In more formal, it will be to obtain or to acquire a qualification. A very good collocation to acquire a qualification. Отримати, набути кваліфікації. And the last one, to get an education in formal letters, it's better to say to receive education. Great. Let's look at these sentences. How would you say them like in a more correct way? I was getting crazy or I was going crazy. Which one is more correct? Okay, I was getting crazy or I was going crazy. What do you think? Which one is more correct? Both variants are possible actually, but if a native speaker would say it, he would say I was going crazy. Якщо б це казав носій мови, він сказав би I was going crazy. Okay, and number two. She went blind at the age of 10 or she got blind at the age of 10. Here is a mistake. Де тут помилка? We cannot say get in this example. Тут get неправильно вживають. Тобто get зазвичай використовують всюди, де тільки можна. Ну, так, не знаєте, як сказати, завжди пишуть get. Ні, не завжди можна писати get, де вам захочеться у будь-яких колокаціях краще. Запам'ятаємо ось це. So, we'd better use go, not get, when talking about people's personality, appearance, or physical abilities. For example, people go crazy, go mad. Yes? For example, something annoyed you and you say, oh, I was going crazy. Да? Тобто ви не скажете getting. Тобто така колокація, вона не вживається в англійській мові, да? З цими от словами. В англійській мові, якщо це носій мови, він скаже go crazy, але не get crazy. Да? And often go is used with sudden changes. For example, suddenly the sky went very dark. Да? Тобто ми б сказали the sun got very dark, but it's not correct. Yes, it's better to say went. Great. Let's try to fill in the gaps. Just fill in the gaps. What do you think? What verb is missed? Знову ж таки, що краще використати, ніж get? Знову ж таки, для більш офіційних листів та і взагалі. What not to use, like, what to use, but not get. Що можна використати, не get. Not to use get here. What do you think? What verb is missed here? In all examples, we have only one verb. Okay. Okay, we have. Okay. What other variants do you think? Which variant is possible here? We can use this verb, but not get. Take, make, okay. Is much, become. Become is closer, but we say turn. There are a lot of collocations in English with the verb to turn. If you talk about colors and you want to sound perfectly, use turn. That's very easy, yes? Запам'ятайте, якщо у вас є колір, тобто щось стає якогось іншого кольору, використовуйте turn. For example, to turn red, to turn gold, to turn white. So any colors, use turn. Знову ж таки, якщо ви там пишете офіційний лист, або ви хочете отримати бали за лексику, і хочете додати гарні словосполучення в свій там лист, використовуйте turn. Пам'ятайте, є у вас колір, щось стає якогось кольору, використовуємо turn, not get. Але не get. Okay, here, what do you think? What is missed here? Also one verb. Get and become can often be used with the same collocations. Да, я бачу, become частенько ви мені пишете, да, вони однакові, вони синоніми. У мене питання, яка різниця між gazing and peering. Дивіться, gazing, I'm sorry, I will answer this question. Gazing – це витріщатися. So you look at something because you admire it, you like it, yes? But when you peer, it means to look with some difficulties. So it's difficult to look at something. For example, it's heavy rain, and it's difficult for you to see something. That means to peer, тобто ви вдивляєтесь, тобто вам це, ви не витріщаєтесь на щось, вам це не подобається, ви просто вдивляєтесь крізь темряву або крізь дощ. But to gaze, it's like to look with admiration, let's say, to see something. So I hope I answered your questions. Let's come back here. So get and become are synonyms, but become is more formal. Again, try to use become instead of get in your formal letters, yes? And also, if you have adjectives like angry, bored, excited, depressed, also try to use become. It would sound more formal. Great. And here, what would you choose here? Our local bakers has become or has got famous for its apple tarts. What would you use here? Got or become? Okay. With famous, what verb collocates with famous? Only become. Yes, try to remember. With adjectives extinct, popular, homeless, and famous, we use only become. Тут get вже буде помилкою. Це не просто так для formal, informal, а це вже буде помилкою. Yes, try to use become with these verbs. Okay. So, let's try to do this task. Yeah. Let's try to replace all do and get with more interesting words. So here is quite informal, yes? Let's try to make it more formal. Тут вона більш неформально, так написано, як такий особистий лист, просто вона комусь розказує. But let's try to make it more formal, yes? For example, I have 3 daughters, and the oldest one did a degree in economics. So that is correct. Ми тут did можемо використати, but which one would be better? Але як буде краще сказати? More formal. Yes, took a degree. Great. Or studied for a degree. Or obtained. Very good. Okay, she got her bachelor's degree last year. We can say she obtained. Great. And is now doing some research. What verb can we use instead of do for research to make it more interesting, to more formal? We can say carry out or conduct. Yes, conduct research, not do. Great. The second one is doing a course at the university. What do we do with the course? We take a course. So she is taking a course or she is enrolled on a course. Great. She is doing history. Remember, if you are talking about subjects, you are studying them. Studying is more formal than just doing. Great. Though she says she has to do far too many assignments. So what can we do with the assignments? We can write assignments, not just two. Great. She is doing her school leaving exams. She is sitting or she is taking her school leaving exams. She'll go to university next year if she gets good enough grades. Gets, again, it's more informal. Тобто отримати оцінки. How would you say отримати? Yes? Not get, but receives. Again, receive is more formal than just get. Okay, she wants to do sociology. She wants to study. If you talk about subjects, you study them. And then get a social work qualification. Let's recollect some very beautiful collocation with qualification. Давайте згадаємо з qualification, яке в нас гарне таке є словосполучення. Which verb do we need to use here? We obtain or we acquire, yes? And the last one, my daughters are all receiving a better education. Отримуємо освіту. Great, so let's go next. I think we will skip this one. It's quite easy. You can take a screenshot and do it yourself. Let's go to some more collocations that you will probably need at your exam. So usually you write letters at your exam and you usually talk about your family, your plans, about yourself. So let's look at some collocations related to these topics and let's try to complete them. So, and I see the correct answer. Yes, бути на зв'язку, that is to keep in touch. For example, if in your letter you would need to write about your first love, how would you say кохання з першого погляду? Love at first sight. Okay, and if we talk about children, we bring up children or we raise children. Okay, I will share some more collocations with you. For example, make friends, ми вже знаємо. A good sense of humor. Запам'ятовуйте, дуже гарне словосполучення. Shake hands. Вітатися, да, за руки. Okay, for example, a patient believer in something. Тобто дуже щиро вірити в щось. Only child. Єдина дитина. And good company. A very good collocation when you are talking about some friends or your parents or whatever. James is good company. A good company, that's someone who is pleasant to communicate with. So let's look at this collocation, good company. So here we have an adjective and a noun, and they also make some collocations. So I suggest you to look at these pictures and name them with such collocations. So please say me a collocation like adjective plus noun. Тобто подивіться на картинку і назвіть її словосполученням, щоб там був прикметник з іменником. For example, picture number 1, I will give you an example. That is heavy rain, сильний дощ. Heavy rain, not strong rain, but heavy rain. And look at picture number 2. Сонце, дуже сильне таке сонце. How would you say? Can we say heavy sun? We cannot say heavy sun. We usually say strong sun, сильне сонце. Okay, number 3. If it snows very, very much. Bright sun is also a good collocation. Okay, if it snows very, very much, we say heavy snow. So we say heavy rain and heavy snow. Not strong rain, not strong snow. We say heavy. Тобто з цими словами використовуємо heavy. І сильний вітер. How would you say heavy wind or strong wind? Strong wind. Запам'ятайте для себе. Сильний дощ, сильний сніг – це heavy. Якщо говоримо про сонце або вітер, це strong. Okay. And what about this picture? How do you call it? What are these drinks? They are soft drinks. A very good collocation also. Soft drinks. Безалкогольні напої. So let's try to match more collocations. So what goes with heavy? We have coffee, job, hair, drink, trip, traffic, passport, or quality. So what do you think? What it collocates with? Yeah, fizzy drinks also a very good collocation. Thank you. So heavy. That's right, heavy traffic. Да, тобто дуже такий сповільнений рух транспорту на дорогах. Heavy traffic. Да? Not strong, not big, not large, but heavy. Okay, let's go next. Valid. What can be valid out of this? Valid passport. Тобто паспорт, тобто він, ви можете з ним їхати кудись, да? Він, тобто, не протермінований. Да? Okay, let's go next. High. Часто робимо помилку high quality. Ми коли кажемо вона хорошої якості, ми українські кажемо кажемо good quality, да? But in English it's high quality. Let's go next. Business trip, we have learned that. Instant. What do you think about instant? We have instant messages. Да? Дуже часто вживаємо цю колокацію. Instant messages. But what about here? What can be instant out of this? What do you think? Instant. And number 5? What do you think about number 5? Instant coffee. Розчинна кава. Great. Okay, permanent. Постійна робота. Permanent job. Soft drinks, we know. And fair hair. That's collocation number 1. Це перше, да, словосполучення, яке маємо запам'ятати. Okay, let's look at more. Let's look at these two texts and please text me in chat which one is better, A or B? What do you like more? Okay. Which one do you like more, A or B? My father is an intelligent man, or my father is a highly intelligent man. He works in a tall building, or he works in an extremely tall building. I'm afraid to go that high, or I'm simply afraid to go that height. I see all answers are B. That's right. Why do you like it more? Because there are a lot of beautiful adverb and adjective collocations. Yes? Наприклад, коли ви читаєте лист та будь-що, да? Якщо просто пишете adjective, да, це правильно, це немає там помилки. But if you use adverbs together with adjectives, it sounds better. And sometimes it even sounds clearer, навіть інколи більш зрозуміліше. So, I want to share some very useful collocations that you may use in your letters. For example, let's look at number 1. Absolutely or utterly amazed, convinced. Да? I'm absolutely convinced that. Я абсолютно переконаний. Yes, you may use it in your letter. Bitterly disappointed. Гірко розчарований. Also, you can use it in your letter. Deeply concerned, deeply moved, shocked, unhappy, worried. Deeply concerned, глибоко стурбований чимось. Okay, highly unlikely, мало ймовірно. Yes, we do not say less unlikely, highly unlikely. Strongly opposed, да, тобто я дуже проти. I'm strongly opposed. Okay, and also fully aware. Yes, я точно знаю, я точно впевнений. I'm fully aware. So please take a screenshot, try to memorize them. Yes, remember them and try to use them. Yes, your letter will sound more interesting. And you will get points for, for vocabulary. Okay, let's go to one more collocations, yes? Let's try to look at these two pictures and let's try to fill in the gaps with collocations, of course. We ordered them at this traditional restaurant. So let's look at this girl and look what she has on her plate. And please give me a collocation. How do we call this dish? That is fish and chips. That is a traditional food in Britain. And let's look at this man. What collocation would you use to describe him? He looks a little bit tired and annoyed, and he probably doesn't like something. You would say he's sick and tired. Да? Тобто йому вже набридло, він не хоче. I say tired, very good. So instead of say just I'm tired, I'm annoyed, you can use collocation like I'm sick and tired. Мені вже набридло. So, we have a special name for these collocations. Вони всі з'єднані словом and, but, or. Да? Тобто вони поєднуються сполучниками and, but, or. And they are also commonly used in English a lot. And if you want to use them in your writing, you may use them, yes? But let's try to remember them. So let's look at number 1. What collocation is this? Hugs, and we usually write it in informal letters. Hugs and, what do we say here? What collocates with hugs? Hugs and kisses. That's right. Okay, we use it at the end of the letter, yes, to say goodbye. Okay, and for most. Something very important, more than anything else. Instead of just say like, you can use actually this in your writing. Okay, let's look at number 2. That is first and foremost, more than anything else. So if you want to emphasize something in your letter, yes, you can use this phrase, first and foremost. Найперше, найголовніше. Okay, let's go next. Slowly, but... For example, you're writing to your friend and you say that in the future you will do something slowly but surely. Тобто це буде повільно, але я точно це зроблю. I will achieve it, yes? Okay. Рано чи пізно, sooner or later. Let's go next. Free from danger or injury. And sound. Живий та здоровий. Number 5. How would you say it? Safe and sound. Very good. Okay. Все або нічого. Or nothing. Involving either complete success or failure. You can use this collocation in your informal letters. What would you say it? Or nothing. All or nothing. Very good. Okay, either a success or a failure. For example, you're writing to your friend and you say, у мене або буде успіх, або повний провал. I want to take a risk. Я хочу ризикнути. I want to take a risk and make or break, sorry. Okay, gradually. Little by little. Almost, about. More or less. And in general. Also, you can use the last collocation in your letters. By and large. Yes, mostly in general. Great. There are a lot of them. I will give you some resources where you can find them and train them and remember them for your writing. Actually, these collocations, sometimes you can find them in the use of English section. For example, if you see like safe and then you need to fill in the gap, yes, it surely will be sound. Да? Тобто це може зустрітися не тільки, ви можете це використовувати не тільки в своєму письмі, да, там в останній секції іспиту, але й можуть зустрічатися ці фрази, наприклад, як first and foremost, можуть зустрічатися в use of English, там де пропуска. Окей. Okay, let's go next. The last task for today. Let's try to complete the gaps with these phrases. I am of working such long hours for such low pay. So what phrase out of these can you put here? So I am working such long hours for such low pay. For example, again, writing to your friend, you can use this phrase, I'm sick and tired. Yes, a very good collocation for informal letters. You would probably not write it in a formal letter, but to your friend, you can use it. There are a few things I don't like about where I live, but it's a nice area. Again, a sentence, it looks like from an informal letter. Знову ж таки, ніби ви другу щось розказуєте. But, by and large, але в цілому, yes? But by and large, it's a nice area. Try to remember this collocation. Great, let's go to number 3. You're going to have to tell him the bad news. Sooner or later. Да? В принципі, речення без цього звучить теж правильно і гарно, але якщо використати це буде ще правильніше. Okay, let's go to number 4. We have had a few, and I see the right answer, ups and downs. Злети та падіння. Ups and downs, very easy to memorize. Ups and downs, злети та падіння. Okay, number 5. Don't worry about us. We are in the local hotel. Живі та здорові, safe and sound. Not safe and healthy. Да? Not healthy, but sound. Safe and sound. That is a common collocation. Знову, тому що це прийняте таке словосполучення. Safe and sound. And the last one. He didn't keep much in his desk. Just a few odds and ends. That is an informal collocation. Odds and ends. Це ніби дрібнички, yes? And you can use it in informal letters. Great job, guys. So here, of course, we don't have much time for collocations. Actually, that is a very huge topic. So you can follow this website. It's actually very good. Here you can find, що означає шосте. Шосте – це якісь дрібнички, тобто незначні речі. Там олівці можуть бути, тобто що в вашій шухляді лежить, щось дрібнички якісь, yes? So here you can follow this website and train more collocations. So please feel free to find the section about collocations and train them. And let's sum up because our time is up. So can we do any mistakes? Yes or no? Can we do any mistakes? I hope you know the correct answer. I really hope. So, no, we make mistakes, not do. Can you stuck in heavy traffic in the heavy rain? Yes or no? Yes. So the word heavy collocates with traffic and collocates with rain. Пам'ятаємо, heavy ми вживаємо traffic, rain і ще snow. Okay, can get be always used instead of go? Can get be always used instead of go? Так, get таке слово, де нам хочеться завжди всюди використати. But no, we cannot. Yes, for example, she went blind. Да? Тобто вона втратила зір. She, like, we cannot say she got blind, but we should say she went blind. Okay, number 4. Does by and large mean in general? Does by and large mean in general? Does by and large mean in general? Yes, but in general it's a nice area. You remember from the example. Is it possible to take an exam with flying colors? До речі, знову ж таки гарне словосполучення. Flying colors – це невідмінно. So can we take an exam with flying colors? Давайте подумаємо. Take an exam with flying colors. Flying colors means we have some result. Якщо в нас є flying colors, у нас вже є результат, тому тільки pass. If you're talking about exams, if you have a result, that's pass, тобто вже зданий іспит. You cannot take an exam with flying colors. You can pass an exam with flying colors. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your job. Thank you so much for your answers. See you next Thursday. Have a great evening.